Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my thoughts on It, Welcome to Derry so far. So we are officially at the halfway point of this season, so I figured now would be the perfect time to start talking about it with all of you. If you guys have seen my intro video, you know that I very much love the story of It. So I have been waiting for this ever since they announced it back in, I believe, maybe 2022. And it's definitely taken a long time to get this show, but I have been very pleasantly surprised with it, and I've liked everything that we've gotten. I think it was well worth the wait. So, first off, I just want to say this definitely feels like it belongs in the same world as It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I think that they have done a really good job with adding some of the things in that we had seen in those movies, whether that be, shots that were done similarly or pieces of the score that they've put in here, or just using some of the same locations that we have seen in those movies. And I really like that the kids have been hanging out in the standpipe. That was definitely a place that I was interested in, especially in It Chapter 1. So I liked seeing that here. I like getting to see the Capitol Theater in all its glory. I also thought that it was cool that we've kind of gotten just a little bit of the Barrens as well as the Cistern. And I feel like we're definitely going to get more of the Cistern at some point in the last half of this season, hopefully with Pennywise down there as well. And speaking of Pennywise, I don't hate the fact that we haven't really gotten much of him yet. I think that, we're going to get it in due time. And so many movies have done what I think is the correct way to go about it, and that would be like less is more as far as showing your villain goes. I think that the good thing about it is that it can be in so many different forms, and that's a good way for people to be affected by it. It doesn't just have to be Pennywise for it to be scary. And I know that they are using quite a bit of CGI, and I don't think that's any bit of a surprise if you have seen those first two movies. But I have liked it for the most part. There are definitely entities that look better than others as far as the CGI goes, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's too bad. And personally, I really like what we have gotten in episodes 1 and 4. That doesn't mean I don't like the things in 2 and 3, but I just really liked the things that we got in those specific ones. So, a couple things that have been really effective for me personally would be the two different instances of like a traumatic birth type incident. I think it's crazy that there were two in here already because that's just something that definitely affects me personally. And yeah, so they got me on those. Those were creepy. I have a friend who is due any day now with her baby, and she had been thinking about watching this show with her fiance, and I'm like, you might want to hold off just a little bit because I know, when I was pregnant last year, I wouldn't have wanted to see the things that they show in here. So probably better to wait if you are pregnant. But I think that it has been pretty cool, a lot of the different things that we've gotten to see here. So, as far as characters go, I really like the group of kids that we have been following throughout this season. I think that it's kind of interesting that we have ones that are related to some of our beloved Losers Club. And I also like that we're getting some that are completely exclusive to this story. And Lily, I think, is a very good um, lead for this group. I think that she is a good sympathetic character. I definitely feel for her when it comes to the fact that she's being bullied for the accident that her father had. And there were definitely kids that I knew in school that had lost relatives, and at no point in my thinking did I ever, think that it would be appropriate to make fun of a kid for something like that. However, I do specifically remember when I was younger in school, maybe a little bit younger than these kids are, I had someone that was kind of bullying me because my mom was in the hospital. So I can definitely attest to the fact that this is accurate, and that's definitely how, kids can treat each other sometimes. Maybe Derry is not the only place that has evil people. Maybe it's something that is in a lot of small towns across the country, throughout the world, and maybe in your town. So another character that I really like is Veronica Grogan. I think that I was, excited to see her in here. She is somebody that is listed in the book. However, she had just not really been in any of the adaptations yet. So I like getting to see some of those people pop up. There are lots of different kids in the novel that I think have really great stories, really scary scenes. So it's always nice to get one of those people coming into this show. And I think that she is the most interesting one of the kids besides Lily. I really like watching her. I like Will and Rich as well. I think that they are both really good, but I do think that the girls are definitely more the standouts here. They just have a lot more to do, at least at this first half of the season. So, another character that I want to talk about, I do want to get into more of the adults, and this one is one that was only in the book so far as far as the adaptations go, but he is obviously a prominent figure in one of Stephen King's other works, and that's Dick Halloran. So he is obviously a beloved character from The Shining who is just so interesting because of the gift that he has. And I think that it works really well to put him into this story as well. I think that he's no stranger to seeing very creepy things because of the gift that he has, and he might have just come across the worst thing ever in it. I am excited to see what all we get from him. I'm really looking forward to the part that he is very important with in the story. I don't really want to get into that, so I don't spoil anything for anybody who has not read the book. But I think that they were definitely laying the groundwork for that specific part of this in this fourth episode that we got. So, as far as some of the other adults go, I like the way that they are portraying some of the military men. I did not expect to like Francis at all. He just seemed like he was going to be one of those bad authority figures that we get in stories like this. But then when he was given a backstory to see that he actually had, a run in with it when he was young with Rose, I think that that added a lot to him and it just, helped his character for me. And speaking of Rose, I really do like her as well. I think she's interesting. I like everything that we are getting from the Native Americans and like their perspective, and also just seeing the origins of it as well. I also really like the Hanlons. All of them, I think, are doing really well. Leroy, I think, is pretty interesting, but I really want to see more of Charlotte. I like all of the activism type stuff that she's doing, where she's, trying to help out Veronica's father. I want to see more of that. I think that that's just something that was so interesting back in American history of that time, so I like that that's being included in this story as well. I think that overall this show has been really good. I've liked everything that we've gotten. I am ready to see more of Pennywise, but I I'm just happy with it overall. And I was talking about this with another friend of mine the other day, how obviously this is a prequel, so they're not going to be able to vanquish it by any means. I don't know if that means that they are just going to harm him, or maybe he will get subdued or trapped in some way. That way he can't come back until the 80s. Or, we could be following this group of characters that we're kind of enjoying, and they could just all be doomed. So I'm not really sure where it's going to go, but no matter what, I am definitely going to be tuning in each week because I'm totally invested. So, what did you think of this video? Have you watched all 4 episodes of Welcome to Derry so far? If so, what are your thoughts on those? Let me know down in the comments. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing if you haven't yet for more horror content. I do post 2 new videos each week. You can follow me on Instagram for updates on my channel, as well as additional horror content. You can follow me on Letterboxd to see what I have been watching lately and my brief thoughts on any of those movies. If you want any of those socials, they are linked in my channel description for easy access for you guys. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me so far. It definitely means the world to me. My name is Devin. This is Carpenter Hill. Thanks for watching.